everybody, and happy fall! So if you missed last week's video, today we're going to be making a lovely warm loaf of bread. If you missed the ingredients from last week, we'll be posting them in the chat so that you can see them. Now, if you haven't already, grab a parent and have them help you. And go ahead and wash your hands. I already washed mine. So go ahead and pause, and I'll see you after you've washed your hands. So after you've washed your hands, let's get cooking. So you're gonna need a large plastic bag. So you're gonna go ahead and open that up. And the first ingredient we're gonna put in our bag is some flour. So I've got 3 cups here, but I'm only gonna use 1 cup. So I'm gonna make sure you have your parents help you measure this out. So I'm just gonna get 1 cup measuring scoop and put it into my flour, just like this. And I'm gonna use like a knife so I can level it off and make it just right. There we go. Okay, now we've got 1 cup of flour. Go ahead and place that into your bag. Okay, now we've got our 1 cup of warm water. Now we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of white sugar. Don't worry, you won't taste the sugar. Okay. And now we're gonna add our yeast. So I measured out for my yeast 2 1/4 teaspoons. So I've got my 2 1/4 teaspoons. You can use any kind of yeast that you have. It really doesn't matter. So add your yeast to your flour, 1 cup of flour, sugar, and sugar. Okay. And now I've got some warm water here. I've got about, let's see, I've got a cup of warm water. And I don't want it to be like scalding hot. I'm just gonna put my finger in there. I don't want it to be super hot. I just want it a little warm. Okay, so now I've got that. So I'm gonna pour it in. Pour it into your bag. Okay. Okay, so now we've got all of our ingredients in. So we're gonna squeeze from the top up because we wanna make sure there's no air in there. So just kind of squeeze it. And then close it really good. Make sure it's nice and tight. Okay, so we don't want any of our ingredients. Now this is the fun part. I'm just gonna mix this up with my hands and get all of those ingredients in there, all mixed together. It looks kind of weird, doesn't it? Okay, whoa, this is so much fun. I'm just gonna kind of knead it with my hands. And don't worry, if you have a good plastic bag, nothing should come out. And you can shake it. Oh my goodness, I am having so much fun. Okay, I hope you guys are having as much fun as I am with this. All right, so now we're almost done shaking up all the ingredients, kind of like massaging mine in. Okay, this is looking great. So now we're gonna lay our bag down and we're gonna let it rest for 10 minutes. And when we come back, you should see little bubbles forming, and that means the yeast is alive. Look at these big bubbles, how amazing. That one's definitely the biggest one. Okay, it looks like our yeast is alive and ready. How's your yeast looking? Okay, now let's take our bag and we are going to add 1 cup, another cup of flour to here, into our bag. Be patient, everybody. Soon, this is gonna turn into a beautiful dough that we get to knead with our hands. I am so excited for that. Okay, so now we've got another cup of flour, and we're gonna add it. Just another cup of flour, just 1. And then we're gonna add 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt. Sometimes I have to get it like that. 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt to our flour. And then we're gonna add some oil. 3 tablespoons of any oil that you have. Today I'm using vegetable oil, but you can use any kind. Okay, pour that in there. Make sure it all gets in. This is so much fun. Now I'm gonna press the air out once again. And you can see we just added another cup of flour. And not everything is mixed up yet. So let's just press down, get all of that air out, and then seal it up really good because we're gonna do some more mixing. Okay, are you ready? Okay. Okay, now our dough is almost ready, but we need to add our last cup of flour and mix some more. Oh, look how sticky. Oh, don't worry. If yours is sticky like this, that means it's working. And it will come together very soon. Don't you worry. Okay, I'm gonna add my last bit of flour and mix. Okay. Make sure to squeeze all of the air out of the bag so you can get the best mix. And make sure to squeeze it up pretty tight because you don't want anything squirting out. Okay, now let's mix. Okay, now we're finally done. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab a little bit of flour on a surface, just a little bit, and spread it out a little. And that's where you're gonna place your dough because you don't want it to stick. And then I'm just gonna lightly flour my hands with a little flour because I don't want it to stick to my hands too much. Okay, now we've got our dough. Let's dump it out onto the flour. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm just actually gonna turn it inside out so it'll get all out. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Oh my goodness, okay. Oh wow, all right, it all came out. Oh, it's very sticky. Okay, so now you can add some more flour depending on how sticky your dough is. Mine is pretty sticky, so I'm gonna add quite a bit of flour. But if your dough is a little bit thicker, then you don't have to add too much. Just kind of see, and as you keep kneading, it should not stick to your hands anymore. And if it keeps sticking, don't worry. Just add a little bit more flour gradually. But you don't want to add too much because it might get hard. So just add it until it doesn't stick to your hands anymore and is this beautiful dough. You might need to keep kneading for a few minutes. Okay, let's talk about kneading. So basically all that kneading is we're pressing down into the dough so we can mix it together. So I'm getting my palm of my hand and I'm squishing down as hard as I can and then folding it over. Squish and fold. Squish and fold. I go all the sides. And you're gonna knead for like 5 to 10 minutes. Kind of depends on how sticky your dough is and how much flour you'll need. Oh my goodness, this is looking great already. Keep kneading. Eventually, you will have a beautiful, soft dough ball. So what you're gonna do, just press your hand really hard and turn over. Press your hand and turn and squish. Press, turn, and squish. Okay. Look how beautiful! So now we've got our beautiful dough, and you can see it doesn't stick to my hands, and it's nice and squishy, and it bounces back when I touch it. Okay, so now you're gonna grab a loaf pan and some oil, but first, we're gonna shape our dough. So I think we should do we're gonna do like a rectangle shape like this, which is long like that. And I don't know what this looks like. Maybe a zucchini, maybe a squash, maybe a piece of pizza. I don't know. Oh my goodness, this looks so good. Okay, now you can kind of spread it exactly how you want it and kind of squish it up like that. Okay, that looks great. So now if you want to, my hands are pretty messy, but it doesn't really matter. It's fine, it's gonna stick anyways. So now I'm gonna add a bit of oil, just a little bit like that, and I'm gonna spread it around with my hands. Oh my goodness, this feels so fun. Okay, so make sure I wanna spread it around all the sides because you can't really see it right now, but the dough is gonna rise and it's gonna get huge. It's so cool. Okay, now we've got our sides all greased. Now we're gonna take our bread and place it into our loaf pan and cover it up with a towel for 30 minutes. Be patient, and when we come back, we'll have this beautiful, fluffy dough. Okay, it's been about 30 minutes. Now let's see. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, wow! It rose so much. Look how beautiful. And if yours isn't completely risen yet, don't worry. Just cover it up and let it rise for a few more minutes. It might need a little bit more time. And just keep doing that until your bread is risen like this. This looks beautiful. Now have your parents preheat the oven to 375 degrees and put the bread in there for about 25 to 30 minutes. Kind of depends on how your oven works. Now I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. Oh, wow, look at our bread. It's so beautiful and so golden brown. Look, ours only took about 25 minutes, but yours might need a little bit more, so check on it. And once it gets golden brown like this, you'll know it's done. Okay, so let me show you how to get it out of the pan. If you grease the pan really good, it should be easy peasy. So what you're gonna do, make sure your parents help you with this. Your parents can do this too, and you can help them. So put on some oven mitts for safety, and you're gonna flip it over, and the bread pops right out. And the bread is just a little bit warm. I can touch it. It's not hot though. Oh my goodness, look at this. It's so soft and beautiful. So let's cut a piece and see what it looks like inside. I'm so excited. Okay. Oh, look at that. Look at how beautiful that piece is. So moist. Oh my goodness. This is the best bread ever. So now let's try it with some butter. Let's see. It's so good. I hope you guys enjoyed baking with me today. And some of the things that you can put on your bread, like jelly or peanut butter, or you can use it to make a sandwich. I hope you love baking with me today. Now I'm going to be finishing up the rest of this bread. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.